Us as mere humans are not aware of the power that a gorilla holds. This ferocious beast of the animal kingdom is capable of absolutely annihilating 100 average humans, even with a money in the bank cash in. But then people started making their own lists. Lists of 10 specific human individuals who would be capable of taking down this genetic freak show of an entity. A lot of people have said some valid things. I would also shit myself if I heard Brock Lesnar's music hit if I was a gorilla. But today, I will be doing it differently. I'll be making the series of Blue Lock go face to face with one of the most dangerous animals on the planet and making a guaranteed best chance for winning with a team of 10 characters who have appeared in Blue Lock to conquer this monstrous task. So if you're watching this video and have not yet lost all hope in humanity both in a fighting and mental sense, you should like and subscribe to the channel. I also have a Blue Lock Discord in which you can join with the link down below. And finally, my friend Ero is doing a very similar video as I, and we both found this idea ridiculously funny when we discussed it. So check out his video after watching mine. Let's start off with our first player representing our most vital asset to utilize for humanity's success.
The UK, England, Birmingham, beans on toast.
Chris Prince from Manshine City. You can't argue that in terms of physical specs, Chris Prince is very likely the best that we got, excelling in complete physicality and stamina, as the core values of Manshine City focuses on rush and speed, and furthermore, goals that are stolen by the law of physical prowess. It's hard to argue that the world's second best player and master of his team doesn't represent all of those values. It's to say that what if we took a strong human and put them up against an even stronger animal? Either way, some damage can be dealt for our side, even if in the end Chris Prince on his own becomes the equivalent of a whoopee cushion after being sat on. So we likely won't see a win with just Chris Prince alone, so allow me to introduce you to another really strong British man, Adam Blake. Disregarding his extremely basic name, he does not have a normal muscle mass as he completely bodies the fuck out of Tokimitsu, who even the likes of Baru couldn't outstrengthen. Dominant physicality is all this man is about, and yes, maybe comparing someone who is 26 and in their physical prime to someone who is 17 is a bit underwhelming, but Adam Blake ain't gonna let us down. There's genuinely been people that argue that Adam Blake is stronger than the likes of Chris Prince, whose strongest feat was overpowering Kaiser with ease in a one-on-one situation. But this isn't a competition of physicality. These two will go hand in hand, and it's safe to say that with these two powerhouses at our disposal, we have a good start to our ultimate team of 10 to toss this gorilla's ass like a salad. Following the two beefy British guys, we have probably one of the more arguably suitable characters for human on animal combat with Gargamaru. People who are uneducated may ask, why Gargamaru? He's not even the most physically imposing out of all the Blue Lock cast, nor is he even comparable to the likes of professional players by strength, speed, or stamina. Well, yes, you may be right with that, but what he lacks in those aspects, he makes up for in agility, flexibility, and overall experience. And that experience was from wrestling fucking bears. Bear in mind, haha, that he wrestled one bear in particular so much that he flat out tamed the guy. He's also known for literally living in the mountains and training his physical attributes there amongst the animal kingdom willingly. It's his idea of home. If there was anyone more Stone Age than Gargamaru, you'd think they'd literally be the evolutionary descendant of a monkey, which in itself gives Gargamaru the reliable knowledge and training to take on a gorilla with minimal help, because let's be honest, Gotomaru is likely the best chance we got. But to back up the experience of Gargamaru's wrestling, why not add a sense of tactical awareness, technique, and structure with Mark Snuffy? If you all aren't aware, Snuffy is a certified black belt in martial arts who's strong enough to be capable of knocking out Baru, and alongside that, he's known as one of the best overall players in the entirety of the Blue Lock series. You can give this man a pair of chopsticks and John Wick style, he will find some way to kill you with them. He isn't just a threat, he's the brains behind this entire operation. He can provide tactical ways of approaching with an ideal formation that can lessen the amount of casualties and boost the chances of aiming for the weak spots, especially with the assistance of metavision. You think you have it bad? Try being a gorilla with Mark Snuffy both outsmarting you and showing you up with his jujitsu skills, which can likely take take down all of the other guys I have just mentioned with minimal effort. However, speaking of technicalities, could Michael Kaiser guilt trip the gorilla into letting his guard down with his tragic backstory? Well, no, but he has a hell of a fast kick though, so he will be our 5th man to add to this team. Kaiser's had the childhood of constantly being beaten half to death by his father, and at the age of seemingly 13, he had the combat prowess to knock out his father and 2 police officers with only his legs and a football as he was handcuffed, even avoiding a bullet shot at him during this process. To say a character is fictional without saying he's fictional, just utter the words, "He dodged a bullet," and that can hit your cranium just as hard as that bullet would have. Then keep in mind he's still physically imposing even if he was outmuscled by Chris Prince, because his value is in straight up fighting experience in general. Not to mention, as I previously stated, he is the fastest known kick speed in all of the Blue Lock series. That alone would provide Kaiser an advantage as someone who shot a ball from seemingly 30 meters away and it had a direct course into the top corner of the goal without seemingly dipping even once in speed or height. So to calculate that, I simply looked it up and found a quite interesting calculation done by a fellow Blue Lock YouTuber called The Wise. He estimated the Kaiser impact was anywhere between the speeds of 90 kilometers an hour to 112 kilometers an hour. Please be sure to check out his video if you want the full breakdown to why he came to this conclusion, as the explanation as to why is not mine to use. With all that being said, it's not actually the fastest recorded kick speed compared to the record in real life even at its max, but it would still do a significant amount of damage as Kaiser has quite a bit of power in his kick as well, and he could definitely do some damage to a gorilla, especially when hitting them in a vulnerable area. So basically, aim for the balls! And I don't mean footballs. Now this next choice of character may not be too agreeable amongst everyone watching this video, but I wanted the next pick for this team to be Rayo. Sure, it may seem a bit weird to not pick one of the stronger Blue Lock characters, but that copy ability for techniques will come in handy. You can only imagine that Rayo can copy the fighting style of the gorilla and will provide the best chance for our team to know when to attack. Not to mention, Rayo is no slouch either, as after Manshine, his physicality is likely among the best in Blue Lock. Strength isn't everything needed in a fight, since you also have to consider stamina, speed, and technique, which Rayo has 99 in all of his parameters as a jack of all trades character. Plus, if he doesn't provide much use fighting wise, we can always use him as a sacrificial lamb or meat shield, because I likely see him not caring too much about his well-being, with Nagi told to fuck off by Ego. Next up is the tank, and I'm not talking about the top 5 black guy in the world Deji. Instead, it's Oliver Aiku. Aiku is one character you simply shouldn't lack on a list like this with characters that we have at our disposal. He is physically imposing, and like many other characters on this list, he does have superior physicality as an ability. To scale his strength, Rin couldn't handle Shido in a fight, but Shido got his shit rocked by Aiku in the U20 conference room, and a slightly better Shido was seen outlasting Kunigami in feats of stamina after Kunigami had gone through the wildcard to be a replica of Noa's parameters. And since then, Aiku's defensive ability has certainly gotten better when realizing the ability of Metavision and how to use it, and it doesn't look like he's struggling with the mental or physical drain of it, unlike Nico. Aiku is definitely the reliable player to utilize when strategy doesn't cut it completely and you need some time to hold off the gorilla, because you ain't taking Aiku down without totally annihilating him and his bloodline. We are onto our 8th slot, and you should have all been expecting this by now. It's Noa. Self-explanatory really, but being the world's best football player will more than likely provide you the physique necessary to not only keep the ball, but keep up a 90-minute match under extreme conditions. Whatever Noa may have in addition to that simply adds to his cyborg-like build, which will be extremely handy in taking down the internet's latest hot topic. 2 more characters to go, and one of the bulky pro players I was missing out on was obviously Pablo, which is why I'm picking Dada Silva next. Now, if you're one of those people who commented down below after I called Aiku a tank, from thinking that I forgot that Silva's nickname is the Heavy Tank, no I didn't. I left that out on purpose to piss you off and make you feel silly now that you commented on it. We can visually see that Silva is a beast. Insane jump height that overshadowed Ryu, and can take a full powered charge from Baru without moving an inch. Jesus, Baru is getting neglected even more so than my autistic ass when needing additional support in school. Silva very well should help in the pursuit of bringing this gorilla down, but we still have one more character to go. This final slot is arguably one of the most important ones considering it could make or break the team. We have immense powerhouses, some strategic minds, and a lot of testosterone, so we need to mix it up with a bit of help from outside forces with Isagi Yuichi. For one, Isagi can definitely use the gorilla's blind spots to take advantage to do many strong things, which of course we know Isagi is capable of, and not to mention, he's the main character, so he's protected by the plot, and very likely will be the last one standing because of it. But if I was to pick a totally different number 10 hypothetically because some people think Isagi isn't a good fit for whatever reason, then I'm picking Kunigami. Bro's strong. That's really about it. That's a lot of plates on that squat, I'm just saying. And there we have it, the complete 10 Blue Lock characters set to take on this absolute monster. Alright, the combatants are set, we run the data through all possibilities. It's time for our death battle, and they're all dead. Oh well. Thank you all so much for joining me for this frankly brain-numbing experience. If you wish to show your condolences for all the Blue Lock characters that were lost in today's battle, please leave your credit card number in the comments down below. And until next time, peace.